stationery shop where you have booked a session to sample all of our papers and pens and inks. We have the largest selection of the finest papers, pens, nibs, and inks. And I can show you all of them so that you can put together your writing kit. And you can try out all of our samples so that you can choose the best one for your purposes. I have selected some of our finest quality papers for you to sample today. And different color. This palette is blue, and this is from the original Crown Mill Company. You can see the ridges in the paper. And the watermarks. It's very smooth despite the watermarks and is a pleasure to write on. We also carry this paper in pink. It's a very pale blush. So if you wanted a blush palette, we can certainly do that for you. We also have envelopes in the same palette from the same company, all packaged and lined with the smooth white paper with a moistening adhesive. And there you can see the blush pink envelopes with the same smooth paper quality. Do either of these palettes interest you? Yes, they're beautiful papers. To choose a palette for your kit, perhaps you should have an idea of a peaceful place or peaceful, safe place that your palette will remind you of when you write, so you can write with a clear, relaxed spirit. So the blue can make us think of water, a cool, clear brook, or ocean waves. And the blush pink can be reminiscent of garden roses and perhaps some delicate flowers in the spring. Do you have an image? A cool forest with moss and peat and leaves over the top. I think this paper that I was saving will give us the beginnings of a forest palette. This one is white with a watermark on it. It's a Bay Series vellum paper, and it has the decal edges that make letter writing very unique for all of us. I do have some vellum envelopes as well. If you'd like to start with a white paper for your palette, we can put that together. Yes, I can show you some sets as well. This one is a blue-green palette, and the paper is made in Florence. And there you can see the envelope turned back. And this is a darker blue palette with beautiful lining of acanthus leaves and gold highlights and detail. These are cards with a dark midnight blue frame and very thick watermarked soft cotton paper. So are these cool sort of forest colours, or would you tend to more towards the warm colours? The warm ones, yes. I have something special. This one is a creamy ecru made in Amalfi, a very, very soft cotton paper, watermarked and decal edged. It's so soft, it's almost like tissue, yet thick enough to write on. And the notes are pre-folded for you, watermarked with decal edging. A very smooth, beautiful surface. These ones, this is a very good choice. It is definitely one of our most popular papers. I'll set that aside for you. How would you like to pick out a pen? Would you like a felt tip, a ballpoint? We also have gel pens, and we have fountain pens, dip and fill, and a large variety of nibs. Yes, you can certainly see some fountain pens. This one is very popular. It is wooden with a very heavy brass lid. The casing is heavy enough that writing is a real pleasure with these. They are refillable, and this one is our sample pen, so you can see there's some ink in there. Yes, we do have cartridges as well as these refillable ink cartridges, so you can use disposable or refillable, especially if you like to change the color of your ink. The nib, as you can see, is two-toned and decorated with some designs and has a ball on the end. It's a very nice and heavy pen. Would you like to try this one? Alright, I'll set that aside for you to try. Calligraphy pens, yes, we have those as well. I can show you two samples. These are pens that come with a set of nibs. As you can see, the nibs will have different widths. And different shapes, so that your letters can use different alphabets and various scripts. And this is a selection of nibs that we have with a few colored inks. And you can see that they are different widths and different styles, with another suction refillable cartridge as well as some disposable cartridges. We have both if you need a supply of disposable cartridge ink. And the nibs for this one also come in a variety of sizes, and you can see some of them are quite wide, so you can do all of your lettering in various styles. Yes, we definitely have some dip pens if you're interested. Would you like to see some of those as well? This is a sample selection. These are all wood. This one is very smooth, lacquered wood. with a matte finish. And a holder for various sizes of nib. This one has a cork grip on a black lacquered wooden pen, and they all are tapered at the end, and a decent enough weight that you can use them for writing or drawing. If you do art with them and illustration. This one has a marbled blue on it and is very shiny and smooth lacquered, again with plenty of space for different size nibs. This one has more colours on it. It is gold with red and yellow and blue swirls of paint, and holder for different size nibs. I also have a special one. This one is very small and very thin because it holds this special nib. It's a very tiny round nib for delicate lettering and lines. And there you can see it's the only kind that fits in this pen. And it's not lacquered, it's just painted red and very beautiful. Are there any of these you would like to try? This one and the small one and this one. Yes, I can set those aside and you can sample those. A special pen that we have. Here's this Waterman, if you like the small red ones. And this one is metal, very easily handled with gold trim and made in France, sort of shaped like a bullet or a rocket, and you can put the lid on the end for weight. It has a rounded ball nib and is refillable with these long Waterman cartridges, and we carry those in a number of colours, these long ones. Very long ones. What do you think of that one? No? Right, I'll set that one aside then. For this one, we have these smaller cartridges, like that. This one is blue, that Waterman makes. They've changed the name several times from turquoise to South Seas blue, and now they're calling it Blue Inspiration or Inspired Blue. I still think it's inspired by the South Seas. What do you think of that colour? That's a very oceany blue. We'll have a look at some nibs to put in your pen. I have a number of nibs that you can try. Different shapes and different sizes. So you can write in different styles or even illustrate. There's another really interesting one. And that one, no, it's too big for that pen. It will fit in that one. So we can have a look at these and you can tell me which ones you think you would like to try. This one has 3 openings there. And some of them very funny looking, like an animal's tail or a boat, the hull of a boat, or something that will make the ink come or flow slower. Some have wide ends and some are pointed. And this one has a little reservoir for the ink there, like these ones. Several of these have little reservoirs. This one looks very fancy, almost like someone's hand. And we have some pointed ones for illustration or fine work. Pick out the ones you would like to try and we'll put them in some of your pens. The long one. Yeah, that's a nice one as well. This one, a number 2. A wide one. Alright. Oh yes, that's a nice one too. These ones. Would you like to try that one? At least we can try that one as well. As that one's very pretty. We'll use some of our fine, smooth paper to test these nibs and pens that you've chosen. And we'll use some water to clean our nibs. And I have 2 testing inks for you. Again, the Waterman. This one is South Seas Blue. It's the same turquoise blue. And you were talking about forest, cool forest colors. So I've got this one that's a very dark brown. It's Winsor Newton. This color is a dark sepia. So we can open those up. So, shall we start with this one? And this is the heavy wooden refillable pen that you selected. And it has a dark blue in it already. But the one that you will take home will be ready for you to put any color ink you like. So what we can start is some curls. You can see it's got a very smooth line with the ball at the end. It's some pen that you can use for your everyday correspondence. And you can see how it curves around. And you get a little bit of variation there. Yes, you like that one. We'll keep that one. I've got a very woody one here. This one is completely new and has not been used yet. And as you can see, it has a screw mechanism for the refillable cartridge, or you can use the standard size refillable ink cartridges. And you've got a beautiful nib there, two-tone metal with design and a ballpoint. One of our most comfortable and best everyday pens. So I'll wrap that up for you. I'd like to start with the small one, the very thin, fine point. Yes, we can try the blue. The blue. And this one being a fine point, we get very fine lines, but also thick lines. And you can hear the nib on the paper. And this one you can make very, very fine designs with. And clean the nib there. And we do carry all different colors and types of ink. Do you like this one? Yes, So I'll wrap that up for you as well. Which of these would you like to try first? This one. Alright. We can look at these nibs as well. Look at that one. It's very funny. It reminds me of a bird beak. So we'll put that in the pen. Would you like the sepia or the blue? Alright, we'll try the sepia. We can always rinse it and try the other one. And you can see the difference in the line there. We get curls as well. And curves. And you can see how much it contrasts that tiny one we tried. Seems to hold the ink well as well. And if we made curves like this, it's quite nice. It's a very comfortable one to write with. And it also looks very sleek. You want to see the wide angle? Okay, let's have a look at the wide one. That one has a number 2 on it. So we can find the sweet spot on the pen. There we are. Should we do blue? Alright. Try our South Seas blue from Waterman. Sometimes when they have reservoirs, you can go in at an angle and see you get a little bit of ink, a little bit. So let's start with a letter. Oh, we've done too much there. Let's use some blotting paper. Look at that. An opportunity for some of our blotting paper from the French stationers Herbin. Alright, we'll try this again. So we're getting quite a wide line there. It's possible that this is not the right paper for this nib. Look at that, very nice. I think this nib needs to be broken in a little bit before we can do some nice lettering with it. But you can see how wide it is, so we can do some beautiful, beautiful embellishments. Look at that. But it's bleeding into the paper, so I don't think this is the best paper for such a wide nib. Let's rinse that one off. But I can wrap up all of these nibs for you, if you like. Should we try this one next? We've got some interesting ones here. Look at that. Alright, we'll try that one. Look, I'm getting all inky. We're having so much fun. Very nice long one with goes to a point, so it's not wide, but just a tiny bit of pressure makes it spread apart. We'll stay with the South Seas. There we go. And oh, that's lovely. Well, because it spreads apart so easily, we probably have have to dip it more often. You might hear a dog barking outside. That's not the dog that belongs to the stationery shop here. That is a dog that belongs to the shop next door. And he can be very outspoken sometimes. He's a very large dog. And he likes to get his point across. Reminds me a little bit of the dog in Keeping Up Appearances that lived in the car at Onslow's place, if you're familiar with that TV series. So that's a very beautiful nib and very responsive. I'll back that one up for you too. We have a couple more to try. Very interesting shapes there. Should we try this one? Look, it's got something like a spring. And again, a long opening. We'll use the sepia with that one. I think this paper is probably better for felt tip pens or gel pens, but you can see with the curves we're getting some nice shapes. There. So I think you'll be quite happy with these nibs. Very satisfied. And have you decided on a pen? I mean, you can have both. Stay with the forest color. Okay. I think that's nice. So you've got your ecru cream stationery and a dark, sort of oaky dark pen, and we've got mahogany, very dark browny mahogany, not reddish mahogany, as well as the small red wooden pen, and the nibs that you've chosen. So I can put those all together and wrap them up. Shall we have a look at some inks? Would you like blues or browns and dark blacks and that sort of color? You want to stay with the forest palette? Okay. I've got some dark sepias and cedars and chocolate coffees I can show you. I'll put our blotting paper there. Now, I have one that I think you'll really like. This is from Herbin, and they've got their founding date of 1670. La Perle des Encres, so pearl of inks. Ink for pens and everyday use. Boxes come up in there. You can see this shape of this glass bottle has a place for your pen, so you can lay your pen across it. And the colour is called Café des Îles, Island Coffee. So this can function as your inkwell. What do you think of that colour? It's a bit, it is a little bit like coffee. It's brown, but not too dark. Should we see that? Alright, we'll try out the coffee. It's much lighter than the sepia. Here you can see it does look very much like a coffee bean. There, what do you think of that? And there's the sepia there. It's ever so slightly reddish, but not so red as mahogany. And look, we're changing our colour in our ink. Yeah. You would like something darker even, okay? A dark forest, earthy. I can do that, certainly. We'll put this one back in its funny little open box, out of which it has sprung. I know just the ink for you. It's very special, and I actually set it aside because I knew you were coming. This one is again Jacques Herbin, Carube de Chypre, or Cyprus Carob. And it says inks illuminated with gold powder or little shiny gold particles. And it's called Enhanced with a golden sheen. And sealed there. And in very nice, beautifully laid box with Jacques Herbin ship, founded during the reign of Louis XV in 1670. Let's open this one up. We'll open it from the bottom so that you can unseal it yourself later when you take it home. And there's our box inside the box. There we are. Special ink. Carube de Chypre. Les encres has the year there in the wax seal. This one's a very dark but not red ink. So very chocolatey carob. And on the bottom you have Jacques Herbin de Paris. What do you think of that ink? It comes with some history as well. Established in Paris in 1670, when King Louis XIV was 32 years old, Herbin started selling sealing wax, fine stationery, inks, and importing resins and shellac from India. In 1798, Jacques Herbin, the fourth generation of the family, started production of the finest quality ink. Through various years and journeys, the range expanded, innovations were introduced, and trademarks registered. These included encre violette, the violet ink used in schools of the French Third Republic, perle des encres, or pearl of inks, and l'encre des voyageurs, travelers' inks. Numerous awards have been won in the days of great industry exhibitions in London and Paris. Over the last 3 centuries, with its myriad shades, inspired by the company's history of seafaring voyages and the glimmer of faraway lands, Herbin's aim has remained constant: to give body and colour to our thoughts. A subsidiary of the Ex-Comte Clairefontaine Group since 2003, Herbin are now proud to produce the exclusive Jacques Herbin collection. This comprises a range of fine quality inks, writing instruments, nibs, fountain pens, stationery, and leather accessories tailored specifically for lettering connoisseurs, calligraphers, illustrators, artists, and travelers. The 1670 inks are exclusive to the Jacques Herbin collection, and they commemorate the year of the creation of the house, right in the heart of Paris. Created first of all to originally market its sealing wax and later its writing inks. The intense and deep colours of the 1670 anniversary editions are illuminated by golden glitter. And there, it is a very mossy brown, isn't it? So I'll box that up for you too, shall I? There you have your ink. I knew you would like that one. I'll put that with your pens. And you've got your paper. And you would like to look at some inkwells too? Certainly. I've got some beautiful samples for you to see. This one has some silver accents there, and like the first ink that we looked at, it has an indentation so you can rest your pen there. This is our sample, so it's a bit tarnished, but the one you have, the one you will receive, will be all shiny. And there you can see where you dip your pen. It's a lovely little one to sit on the desk with a little flower there. And it's very quiet as well. And as you liked the Jacques Herbin story, I also have a glass inkwell with a pewter top. The special thing about this one is it's got a ship motif on the top, and it's beveled. Nice beveled design. There you can close it, and there's your Jacques Herbin ship. You can use these, or you can use the actual ink bottle. That's a good choice. I'll set that aside for you. And last but not least, you asked for a box to hold your pens. I have an excellent suggestion there for your writing kit. This is a nice little wooden box with a brass latch, and it's been finished with dovetails and bevels. And inside you can use the divider to separate your pens and ink and paper. So you've selected our Amalfi cloth paper, and we can put that in the Velcro fastenings. And there you get a little bit of extra sound with the Velcro. It's very sticky Velcro, so your letters won't come out. And for your pens, we can put them in there. Like that. And you would like some place to put your nibs as well. So I'll put them in this tin for you there. And we have a little special book that comes with your box in the foresty colors that you like. How is that? So that makes a nice kit. I'll set that there. And now you wanted to look at some wax seals. I'll show you what we have. mentioned the sea before. I've got a sailboat, and this one is attached to a very heavy metal holder. And the next one I have is a compass rose, and this one has a very long wood holder. Look at all the ink we've been playing with. So you can change the handle if you like, and I'll show you what these look like. Even though they're sea themed, let's do some forest colors. So we'll pick a dark green and sort of a marbled mossy green and a light bracken. We'll let those melt there, and as those are melting, we can fold our test paper as if we're making a letter, and crease that there and there, and fold it there. And the wax is almost ready, and we're going to put 2 seals, and that's where our ink bled through a little bit. I think this paper might be a bit too soft. Alright, let's try our forest greens. Make a little swirl. There we go. Not perfectly round. Shall we go with the sailboat? There we are, sailboat. And that handle, you can see, is heavy enough that we can let that sit there while it cools. And you can blow on it too. Those are beautiful colors. Look at that. What do you think of that? You can see a little marbled ink and the sailboat sailing there. Now let's add some more. We'll do some more greens for our compass rose, and I think we'll add a bit of teal, or what reminds you of the forest. How about a coppery color like that? Let's try that one. Yeah. Make sure this is creased nicely, and we'll put another seal on that. And this one's going to be very foresty because we've got greens and browns, and I think we should add a gold as well. Look at that. It's coppery gold, melting, melting in there. Let you see the seal that we're going to try now, which is a compass rose. So we have to make sure we get north facing up. It's mixing that around. Very nearly spilled it. So, since I've put this one in the very center, it doesn't leave us much space, but we'll try and work with what we've got for a little sample. Look at that. Aren't the colors beautiful? There we go. Alright. And our compass rose. And north to the top for you. And that's nice and heavy. So you don't have to push down very hard. Just let it sit there. And we'll blow that out. And see how we've done. There's our compass rose. How does that look? That's very nice, isn't it? It's a nice big seal as well. So you'd like some wax. Yes, you can also use wax sticks that we have in all different colors and light them with your candle, or you can melt them in a little pot that gives you a range of different colors in the same seal. So like the compass rose? Yes, I can wrap that up for you too. Alright. So you have your kit. And for a little extra, I think let's use some bracken there to put over the box. What do you think? Very foresty, isn't it? And we can wrap these up now. And there is your stationery, pens, and nibs, and ink, and wax seal. You are all ready to initiate or continue some beautiful correspondence. I hope you've had a nice relaxing time here in the shop. You are one of our favorite customers, so do come back again. We are here to provide fine choices for all of your stationery needs.